Hey, what's going on, man? Brand new episode of the Foul Pole to Foul Pole podcast, brought to you by our friends over at the Carolina Patriot Collegiate League. If you haven't had a chance to check them out yet, man, check it out. It's cpatriotcl.com. Brand new summer softball league coming to the Carolinas during the months of June and July. Going to have incoming college freshmen looking to get their feet wet in the college game. You've got kids in the transfer portal looking for a new home. Then you've got other ones that are just looking to stay sharp. There's a lot going on. Go check it out, cpatriotcl.com. You can register, or fans, you can stay up to date with all the information. This episode is brought to you by our friends over at the Nexus Mount. Our turnkey kits provide a secure and hassle-free way to attach multiple devices to any fence, net, or tripod. Crafted from lightweight aluminum with a powder-coated finish, our mounts are built to last. But that's not all. Our innovative design features a removable shade cover to protect your devices from direct sunlight during your outdoor streaming events, which will minimize the risk of overheating. Don't settle for anything less than perfection. Unleash the full potential of your streaming experience with the Nexus Mount. Visit us today at thenexusmount.com and elevate your game. All right, we are jumping in here today. Today is Tuesday, March 26th, and we are continuing our Legacy Week. And I wanted to get everything sort of kicked off with the best pitchers from the college game over the years. And, man, there has been a ton. And when we think about sort of the face of softball, we think about sort of that quarterback position, in comparison to football. It's got to be the pitcher. It's got to be the girl in the circle. It's got to be the one that touches the ball every play. And, man, there has been some great ones. And I kind of wanted to give you my list, or at least some of the ones that have stuck out to me since I've been following the game and researching the history of the game. Just some of the pitchers that stand out. And this is absolutely no particular order as far as like where I rank pitchers and stuff like that, because I think you get to a point where you talk about the GOATs and you talk about the greatest of all time. And there's different eras in the game. When we talk about, the great debate between like somebody like Michael Jordan and LeBron James, like who's the GOAT? I mean, they play in different eras and different rules, just different things that go on. So you can't, go look back 30 years to the game and then look in like 2015 and say, are these players better? Are they, could they have, made it back then or whatever? And of course, over time, the athletes get bigger, faster, and stronger, and just different things that go into it. So for the most part, I would say, yeah, the athletes of the day probably would have been successful back then. And then there's a lot from the yesteryear that would have been successful as well. So with all of that aside, let's talk about some of the best pitchers that have ever, graced the diamond. And I think everybody would have Cat Osterman as one of their top five, if not top five, at least their top 10. She pitched in Texas 2002, 2003, 2005, and 2006. Just when you think about Texas softball, just the state of softball, not just the university, but you think about USA softball, you think about Cat Osterman. Absolutely one of the best pitchers of all time. Osterman left an unbelievable legacy on Texas softball and with the USA softball team. She's a 3-time National Player of the Year, and she actually won back-to-back Hondo Awards for the best college player. She tallied 2,265 strikeouts in her career and still holds the record for the best strikeout ratio in the NCAA. She has the most perfect games with 9. It just tells you, man, how dominant she truly was. And just like her, Monica Abbott, she played at Tennessee from 04 to 07. And if you think about a U.S. pitcher, I think everyone at some point gets to Monica Abbott. And if you type up, softball pitcher, Google's going to put you on Monica Abbott almost right away. She's a legend, and, not just here in the States, but internationally, professionally in Japan. She's a strikeout queen, if you will. 2,440 strikeouts in her college career. She still holds the record for most strikeouts in a single season with 724. That is a ton of strikeouts. She took home the 2007 National Player of the Year and the Hondo Award, and go watch a video of her. She moves different. She's super tall. She's got a funky delivery, a funky release, a funky wind up. And she's just, her passion for the game is absolutely infectious. If you ever have a chance to meet her, she's an incredible person. Moving on from her, you're looking at, when you think Arizona softball, you think Mike Andrea, and then you also think Jenny Finch. And Jenny Finch has been the face of the game for quite some time. And back before people, really paid too much attention on TV to softball, back in the late 90s, early 2000s, you got Jenny Finch with Arizona. She went 32-0 that year, and she makes a statement, a perfect ending to a perfect season. When they won the national championship back in 2001. Probably the most well-known softball player in history, and rightfully so. She dominated during her time. She won the Honda Award back-to-back in 2001, 2002. Her winning percentage was just incredible. Had the most consecutive wins in 2001. Just a beautiful person inside and out. Now, if we go back just a little bit further in Arizona's history, you have Nancy Evans, who pitched 94, 95, and then 97 and 98. This was back before Jenny Finch was there. She won some national championships. Matter of fact, she won 3 of them. She was 124 and 8 in her career. Her record is untouched. I mean, she's the number 1 win-loss record in all of college softball history. She won the Honda Award back in 98, and she finished that season with a .98 ERA, which is incredible. A little bit earlier on, early 90s, over in UCLA, over in California, from 1990 to 1993, you had Lisa Fernandez, and man, her changeup was wicked. But, you talk about Lisa Fernandez, you talk about her legacy, you talk about what she's done in the game, even after her playing career. A lot of times people just don't realize, because it was so early on before the game got so popular, that how dominant she was in the circle. She was always in the tops as far as the Honda Award. You're talking about an absolute legend. She only, all 4 years she played at UCLA, she won the Honda Award. That is pure domination. It tells you how much better she is than her counterparts and even her peers during that time. She took home 2 national championships with the Bruins, finished with a career ERA of .22. That's insane to me. If you're watching old videos, old clips, back when they wore shorts and stuff, that Lisa Fernandez changeup was absolutely wicked. It looked just like a fastball coming at you with her body motion and everything. And she really put the changeup on the map as far as college softball is concerned. It's incredible. So I hope you guys, search that up. Back in the early 90s, 90 to 93, you had Michelle Granger from California, another dominant lefty. She still owns the record for most no-hitters ever, with 25 no-hitters. 25 no-hitters, man. It's insane. She broke the strikeout record at the time. She had 1,640, and she also finished her career with a .46 ERA. Back in the day, man, it was Fernandez and Granger. Those are the 2 dominant ones. Early 2000s, about 2006, and then again 2009 and 10, Danielle Lowry, she pitched for the University of Washington. Certainly one of the best NCAA pitchers of all time. Her career shows it, no doubt. She had 1,860 strikeouts, including 521 in 2009, the year that Washington won their first ever national championship. She was also the USA Softball Player of the Year in back-to-back, 09 and 10, and she won the Honda Award twice. So back if you were watching softball in the mid-2000s, you knew exactly who Danielle Lowry was. Had a huge personality, a big motivator for the team, and just, she commanded the circle, and she could throw pretty much any pitch. She was dominant. And then we move on to Courtney Blades, just was dominant as well. She transferred from Nicholls State, so she finished her career up at Southern Miss in 99 and 2000. She pitched for Nicholls State in 97 and 98. Just 663 strikeouts and for that season. And then for her career, she had 1,773. She had the record for most wins in a season with 52. 52 wins in one single season. Just in 2000, she had just an absolutely incredible year. And she was dominant when she was healthy. Back in 2010 through 2013, you had Kehlani Ricketts over at Oklahoma. National Player of the Year, back-to-back Honda Awards. She won the best collegiate athlete in 2013. She was just, she kind of broke out as far as softball players being looked at amongst all the other athletes. And, you still think about Kehlani Ricketts today and what she has done with Oklahoma, and not necessarily put Oklahoma on the map, but was one of the sort of faces of Oklahoma as people started to notice them. A little bit recent, from 2017 through 2019, and then again in 2021, Rachel Garcia, the pitcher at UCLA. Man, when you think UCLA softball, there's certain names that pop up, and for me, it's Rachel Garcia. She's up there with one of the tops. Is the third player on the list to really get the accolades, just not in softball, but outside of softball too, as far as female athletes are concerned. So she did win 2 back-to-back Honda Awards, but she won the Broderick Cup as well. She was dominant in the circle. Even today, when you watch her play in professional ball with Athletes Unlimited, she just has this swag about her. She has something that just makes her, like she's larger than life. She's great. She led UCLA, and you can see her now today. She just is an incredible player. Alicia Hallowell, back in the heydays of Arizona, 2003 to 2006. She was a dominant pitcher coming in after Jenny Finch. Racked up 1,768 strikeouts for her career. Career wins, strikeouts, shutouts, innings pitched, strikeout ratio. That's, right there as far as being a dominant. If you're dominant at Arizona and you hold Arizona's records, I mean, how dominant are you as far as across the board? What's nuts is that back in 2006, she had a .87 ERA. I mean, anything sub 1 ERA is nasty. And I can't leave probably my favorite pitcher off the list if you're talking about pitchers with magical moments, magical runs, and the story of Angela Tincher. Man, Angela Tincher has got to be one of my top 5 pitchers, and not just on numbers and that kind of stuff alone, just what she did. I mean, she goes out there and she no-hits a U.S. Olympic team when they came around doing the exhibition games they played against Virginia Tech. And so she no-hits that powerhouse of a lineup. She doesn't have any championships or some of the accolades that the other girls have, but she ranks number 3 in all-time strikeouts, which is very impressive. She ranks number 2 in strikeouts per 7 innings. She's also 8th in the NCAA in no-hitters. And you don't really think about Virginia Tech softball back in like the early 2000s, in the 2010s. You don't think too much about Virginia Tech. They just wasn't on TV as much. They weren't really the face of softball. But if you go back and watch that game, I'm sure you can find it on YouTube somewhere. It's just incredible that this little girl that can go up there and compete with the Jenny Finches and the Monica Abbotts of the world and go pitch for pitch with them. And it's just an incredible story. So shout out to Angie Tincher for being one of my favorite pitchers of all time. And there's also some great ones out there. You got like Kelly Barnhill, Tracy Compton, Taryn Mowat, Michelle Smith, Megan King, Debbie Doom, Susie Parra, Paige Parker. There's a lot that kind of stand out. And I hope some of these pitchers that are coming up, maybe you got a 10U, a 12U, a 14U pitcher that's out there that have a chance to maybe revisit some of these pitchers, go, man, they were dominant back in the day. And nowadays, we've got pitchers that are out there that it will make that all-time list as well. I mean, Megan Faremo, Kelly Maxwell, Montana Fouts, just whoever. I mean, it's a who's who. But for me, as far as legacy is concerned, man, there's some great pitchers throughout the years that I like to shout them out. So we're going to continue our legacy tour, if you will, the rest of this week, talking about different pioneers, talking about different players, different people just surrounding the game. But big shout out to the pitchers that are sort of the face of the game. So if you like to share this, man, please share it and let somebody say, hey, check this podcast out. I know you're into podcasts. Share it with them. And as always, if you share it with a friend, be sure you tell them you love them.